And now, coming to you live in your bathroom, in your bedroom, in your lounge, in your kitchen, at home, it's Lockdown Radio.
Don't touch that dial.
Give me a beat.
That's funky.
Right, some Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine, right here on Lockdown Radio. Yesterday I managed to catch up with DA Ward Councilor Nicole Bollman via telephone and speak to her about what she's up to at the moment, feeding homeless and stuff during this time of isolation. So this is what she had to say.
Hey Nicole, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Hi Noel, thanks very much for having me.
So I believe during this time of lockdown, you haven't stayed indoors all the time. You've been quite busy. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're getting up to?
Yes, as a ward councillor, I have been given a permit which permits me to go and keep up with my day-to-day activities around the ward. But I've also kept my ear to the ground in terms of what is happening in the city regarding our homeless shelters or the camps that have been erected in and around the city. So I have put a few pledges out for blankets, which I've taken to consignment down to Moses Mabhida for distribution. So keeping busy, keeping active, and giving back to the community, which is always very important to me.
So was this an initiative from the DA, or was this something that you just decided to do on your own?
A culmination of both, really. However, this particular drive, the one that I'm doing currently, is very much more spearheaded by myself as well as members of my committee and NGOs or NPOs in the ward.
Okay, so you talk about this current drive. I assume it's slightly different to the blanket drive?
Yes, so the homeless shelters or camps that we have now in and around the city have got a substantial amount of people, men, women, and children that reside there. Obviously, the city has provided to a point and then is relying on NGOs, NPOs, and church organizations to assist going forward. However, with the amount of time that we are under lockdown and with the amount of people that are needing to be fed, food supply is running short. It is fatigued. So, but this drive, what I'm hoping to do is assist in, providing non-perishable food sources to these soup kitchens and so forth, so to keep the people fed during lockdown.
Well, I think that it's an absolutely magnificent initiative. Especially considering the fact that government has now come out and admitted that they underestimated the amount of homeless people we have out there. So, congratulations and well done to you guys. Is there anything people can do to get involved? Is there any way that they can donate, either be it foodstuff or financial donations or anything like that? Is there any way they can get involved?
Yeah, at this point, I'm focusing on Ward 35, or the ward that I serve, which includes suburbs of Glen Ashley, Lelucia, and Umhlanga. We have been very privileged to have collaborated with three large stores in the ward, namely the Spa in Umhlanga Centre, the Pick and Pay in Umhlanga as well, next to 14 on Chartwell. And the third one that has come on board is the Pick and Pay at the Lelucia Mall. We are hoping to approach and get support from a few others in and around the ward. Obviously, we don't want to promote people driving unnecessarily. Obviously, it has been promoted that people drive linear lines. That means go to the shops closest to where you live. So I'm hoping to bring on board one of the two biggest stores in Glen Ashley in the next day or so. If you're unable to get to the stores, you are obviously able to make cash donations to a various amount of NGOs or NPOs. The two that come to mind are the Dennis Hurley Centre. They've been supporting the city quite substantially. And then we've got a local one, resident in Glen Ashley, who have very kindly come on board to be our supporters in terms of collecting produce and so forth. Then Matthew 25:35. Subsequent to that, you can always follow me on Facebook. My Facebook page is Nicole Bollman for Ward 35, and then the event is non-perishable food collection for Ward 35.
Okay, that is amazing. I'll also be posting those details up a little later in the show as well. Now, tell me something. Quick question. Seeing as though you have been out and about, and a lot of us haven't, tell us, what's it like out there? I mean, I have sometimes got these pictures in my mind of like barricades and military tanks and rifles, and just like looks like a war zone, and you've got to drive through like a maze to get through there, and like passport checks every 5 seconds. What's it like out there? Is it chaotic? Is South Africa and particularly the area where you live in Durban, are they abiding by the rules? What's it like out there?
No, definitely not what you are imagining. It is, in fact, eerily quiet. I've driven around over the last couple. I don't go out every day, but when I do go out, there's very, very few vehicles on the road. In fact, on the M4 the other day, I was driving, and literally no one in front of me, behind me, or next to me, which was quite different because that is usually quite busy. It's also noticeably clean. I think we have seen a reduction in foot traffic, but everything's relatively clean, it's really wonderful, and I hope it's something that we can keep up after lockdown. Most folk are adhering to the request to stay at home, and I would like to thank them. Because it's not easy. I mean, I've got 2 little ones at home myself, so there's homework and schoolwork and activities and so forth. But those who are adamant that they want to go out, I would like to encourage them to please stick to the plan. The longer people are out there and the more threat there is, the longer lockdown will happen. So I would really, really encourage people to please stay at home, and so we can flatten the curve, and eventually rid our country and ourselves of this COVID-19.
Well, that is good to hear. So just in closing, I wanted to ask you, the World Health Organization has applauded South Africa for our efforts that we have put in. I know there's been quite a few teething pains around it, and, with the payment of the SASSA grants and taxis and stuff like that. In your opinion, and not necessarily as a ward councillor, do you think that our government has done enough and continues to do enough, also in light of the 67 new mobile units that were launched last night? Do you think government is doing enough, and do you think government is doing enough to beat this properly?
I think that the situation has caught us, as well as many other countries, off guard. It's created procurement and logistical nightmares across board. However, our government has acted swiftly and has been quite serious in their quest to reduce the spread of the virus. There's obviously room for improvement, but as you say, teething issues are to be expected, given the magnitude of the challenge. I think we should also be proud of our leaders. They have stood together for the sake of South Africa as a whole. I can say I'm proud. I'm proud of our government, and I'm proud of the way that we as South Africans are standing in unity to reduce and combat this virus in our country.
Right, we'll leave it there. DA Ward Councillor Nicole Bollman, thank you so much for joining us today, and keep up the good work and keep those people fed. That's what you're doing. And I will be posting the information that you gave to us as well regarding where people can go and get involved. Nicole, thank you so much.
Thanks, Noel. Much appreciated.
And now, coming to you live live in your bathroom, in your bedroom, in your lounge, in your kitchen, at home. It's Lockdown Radio.
Don't touch that dial.
Give me a beat.
That's funky.